Suasana dengan jitu penuh bermisi guru ayu, mencapai misi yang satu, berbisik kita bantu.
Tahniah. Siaran langsung ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh Akademi Youtuber Malaysia. Tumpukan perhatian anda. Siaran langsung akan bermula sebentar lagi. Link sijil akan diberikan di hujung siaran ini. Pastikan diisi dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan. Terima kasih.
Okey, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera semua. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Saya Cikgu Rosemawati dari Rosemawati binti Zaini. Bertugas di SMK Bandar Bintulu dari Akademi Youtuber bersiaran dari channel Cikgu Peh. Okay, sebelum kita mulakan kelas kita pada petang ini, lebih molek kiranya kita mulakan majlis ilmu kita dengan bacaan Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Masing-masing dengan mengikut agama masing-masing boleh membaca doa permulaan dahulu ya. Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Amin, amin ya rabbal alamin. Alhamdulillah bersiaran kita sekali lagi dalam kelas tuisyen online Akademi Youtuber, juga merupakan kerjasama IDIDIK, IDIDIK Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Okey, sebelum kita mulakan kelas kita, ingin saya ingatkan kepada semua pelajar dan penonton yang ingin menghantar komen, sila gunakan bahasa yang sopan dan gambar profil yang bersesuaian dengan tuntunan umum. Sila fokus pada isi pembelajaran yang akan disampaikan oleh Cikgu Peh. InsyaAllah semoga kita dapat manfaat sepenuhnya daripada apa yang diajar oleh Cikgu Peh petang ini. Ambil peluang ini, ikuti setiap kelas online percuma panitia fizik menengah atas yang akan bersiaran pada setiap minggu pada hari Ahad jam 2 petang dan satu lagi pada 8.30 malam Jumaat. Baiklah, saya perkenalkan guru-guru yang ada bersama kita pada hari ini, iaitu Cikgu Hasnitah yang akan bertindak sebagai control host kita pada petang ini. Seterusnya saya sendiri sebagai moderator, dan juga ingin saya perkenalkan presenter kita iaitu Cikgu Peh yang kini bertugas di sekolah kolej
tingkatan 6 Tun Fatimah Melaka.
Kolej tingkatan 6 Tun Fatimah ya, Melaka. Lupa pula dia punya tempat sekolah. Okey, juga diingatkan link sijil penyertaan akan diberikan di penghujung kelas ini. Sila ambil perhatian. Link tersebut akan tamat tempoh setengah jam selepas live. Hanya email IDIDIK, Jawi, MOE sahaja yang diterima. Okey, tanpa melengahkan masa, mari kita ikuti kelas fizik pada hari ini yang akan disampaikan oleh Cikgu Peh. Dengan segala hormatnya dipersilakan.
Okey, terima kasih kepada moderator Cikgu Yani. Okey, so hari ini seperti biasalah kita adakan kelas fizik tingkatan 5. Okey, so kamu boleh lihatlah di sini minggu ini. So kelas IU fizik ini ada banyak kelas tambahan. Okey, so itu kamu bolehlah visit channel cikgu yang mengadakan kelas tersebut. Okey, so hari ini kita akan teruskan skor A+ SPM, okey, untuk kamu yang mana akan menghadapi peperiksaan pada Mac 1 kan. Okey. So ini merupakan panitia fizik SPM Akademi Youtuber Malaysia yang banyak memberi sumbangan kepada subjek fizik di SPM. Hari ini ada bersama saya ada Cikgu Yani dan juga Cikgu Hasnitah. Terima kasih bersama saya pada petang ini. So saya Mr Peh kini mengajar di Kolej Tingkatan 6 Tun Fatimah Melaka, dan hari ini So saya akan fokuskan kepada topik gravity tingkatan 4. Okay, so sebab saya rasa untuk yang kelas tingkatan 5 ramai yang risau kepada chapter 7 quantum. Untuk yang kelas tingkatan 4, so gravitational mereka pun ada permintaan di mana. So adakah apa soalan yang akan ditanya di section A, section B ataupun section C. So hari ini saya akan fokuslah kepada pembincangan bab ini. Okay, so di chat room kita ada TVH, kita ada Football in Love, Arif. Okay, so ajarlah lebih ramai kawan. Okay, bersama Cikgu Peh di sini belajar chapter 3, revision untuk chapter 3. Okay. Okay, so berikut merupakan format instrumen Fizik SPM mulai 2021. So saya rasa ramai sudah tahu format kita fizik paper 1. Kita ada 40 soalan, objektif, aneka pilihan dan aneka gabungan, dan jumlah markah yang disumbangkan di sini adalah 40 markah daripada 155. So tempo ujian adalah 1 jam 15 minit. Dan untuk kertas 2 kita ada 3 bahagian ABC. So bahagian A 8 item, bahagian B 2 item, bahagian C 1 item. Untuk bahagian B kamu bolehlah pilih 1 soalan ataupun kamu boleh jawab dua-dua. Maka yang tertinggi akan dikira dalam keseluruhan nanti. So jumlah maka yang cover kepada kertas 2 adalah 100 maka. So sangat banyaklah compare kepada paper 1 dengan paper 3 ini. So tempo ujian adalah 2 jam 30 minit. Dan yang last kali adalah paper 3 yang mana anda sudah lepas lah. Okay, so terdiri daripada 15 markah. Dan hari ini saya akan fokus pada kertas 2. Itu seperti yang banyak kali kita sudah bincangkan, di mana section A adalah bahagian yang wajib, terdiri daripada 8 soalan. Dan di sini kamu boleh lihat kesemua soalan di sini termasuk kriteria yang tested di sini adalah knowledge, understanding dan calculation. So kamu boleh lihatlah semua soalan mesti ada tiga ini, kecuali lah soalan 1 tak ada calculation. Okay, yang lain semua mesti ada knowledge, understanding, calculation. So nanti kita boleh lihatlah apa soalan sebenarnya mengenai 3 kriteria yang majority akan ditanya di sini. Dan soalan untuk yang 5, 6 dan 11 dia ada menguji anda buat perbandingan antara 2 diagram. Okay, ataupun 3 diagram. Semalam saya ada dengar Cikgu Rose kan cakap tapi rasa tak banyak lah, biasa dia 2 diagram. So buat perbandingan. So yang ini merupakan soalan bonus sebenarnya. So soalan 5, 6 dan 11 akan menyumbangkan 15 markah. Kamu just observe diagram dan buatlah jawapan anda. Dan seterusnya soalan 7 dengan section B, iaitu soalan 9 dan 10, dia akan tanya akan uji anda lah kriteria tentang decision making. So kamu kena buat keputusan. So kamu kena pilihlah satu yang terbaik. Okay, so ini akan kita bincangkan nanti juga. Dan yang last kali adalah kriteria jenis modifikasi. Okay, akan kamu jumpa di soalan 8 dan 11 lah. Okay, ini adalah soalan keseluruhan yang kita akan bincangkan pada petang ini. Okay, so sampai akhir-akhir ini saya rasa banyak lagi soalan trial kamu boleh dapatkan. So kamu boleh lihat saya sudah buat analisis yang mana chapter 3 ini. So setiap negeri mereka tanya bahagian mana. So sebenarnya untuk gravitational chapter ini dia terdiri daripada 3 subtopik. 3.1 Newton Law of Gravitation, 3.2 adalah Kepler Law, dan 3.3 adalah man-made satellite. Okay, kamu boleh lihat di sini. So soalan 1 daripada negeri Kedah, Perlis, Pulau Pinang, mereka bertanya tentang subtopik 3.1 dengan 3.2. Then Melaka, Selangor, Sarawak punya modul, Terengganu, Pahang. So kamu boleh lihat semua adalah 3.1 dengan 3.2. So jarang kamu nampak soalan mengenai 3.3. Okay. So di sini saya akan bincangkan dua soalan 3.1 daripada Pulau Pinang dan juga soalan Selangor set 2 daripada subtopik 3.2 capital law. So saya pilih soalan Selangor ini sebab soalan ini dia bagi kamu idea ketiga-tiga capital law itu. So kita boleh buat ulang kaji lah bersama. Sebenarnya capital law saya nampak agak banyak soalan tanya, especially capital law ketiga lah. Okay. Dan seterusnya kamu boleh lihat lagi. So di sini ada banyak lagi soalan yang tanya di soalan nombor 4. Okay. So soalan nombor 4 ini saya rasa sebab negeri Johor mereka sudah ada JSI mereka lah. So mereka set soalan nombor 4 sebagai soalan bab 3. So di sini kamu boleh lihat. So kita boleh nampak ada satu soalan 3.3 subtopik yang dikeluar daripada Pasir Gudang. So nanti kita akan tengok bersama lah soalan ini. Geostationary satellite. So saya nampak section A hanya negeri Pasir Gudang yang keluarkan soalan 3.3. So boleh bagikan kamu idea apa jenis soalan yang akan kamu jumpa dalam subtopik 3.3 ini. Dan saya pilih juga soalan daripada mesin Johor ini. So dia ada kebetulan soalannya sebenarnya sebulat trial 2021 Sarawak. Okay, dan di mana soalan ini dia tanya kebanyakan terms yang kamu akan nampak di 3.1. Maksud dia di sini, kalau kamu ulang kaji bersama saya di sini mengenai soalan mesin Johor ini, saya rasa 3.1 kamu akan dapat faham lah apa yang akan kamu perlu belajar dan perlu emphasize pada hujung yang kamu mana akan face kamu punya SPM nantilah. Okay, then 3.2 daripada Batu Pahat. So soalan ini tanya mengenai capital law kedua dan ketiga. So nanti kita boleh lihat bersama. Okay, dan seterusnya kamu boleh lihat lagi banyak trial exam lagi di sini. So soalan 5 yang mana saya tadi ada sebutkan dia adalah jenis soalan mengenai conception. So di sini, so saya juga akan pilihlah satu soalan daripada Kelantan supaya kamu bolehlah lihat apa jenis soalan yang akan tanya dalam conception. Dan seterusnya, soalan 7 adalah jenis soalan decision making. Okay, so kamu boleh lihat di sini, saya akan pilih soalan daripada KYS lah, College Yayasan Saat di sini. So dan kamu boleh lihat Johor baru set 1 ini, dia tanya soalan lebih kurang sama. Dan saya akan berikan cara menjawab kepada KYS. Dan seterusnya untuk yang last kali kamu boleh lihat untuk section B, saya akan bincangkan soalan subtopik 3.3 iaitu escape velocity communication satellite di sini. Dan dalam semua trial paper ataupun modul ini dapat lihat example question daripada section C. Okay, so nanti saya akan bincangkan jugalah satu soalan, okay, mengenai soalan decision making, modification bersama anda. Okay. Okay, so let's go to our first question here. Okay, so the first question is the example question from Pulau Pinang. Let us read the question together first. Diagram 1 shows the gravitational force between the sun and the earth. So you can look at the picture here. So we have two objects. There will be M1 and M2 here lah. Okay, so state the Newton universal law of gravitation. Okay, so today we discuss regarding the chapter 3. So this is the listed formula we are going to see today. Okay, so if let's say you already have watched my video regarding the technique Menjawab, okay, so I actually already teach you how to use the formula, okay, to do the explanation, definition, and also the calculation. So normally the students will think that when we go to the question about the calculation, and then we will only use the formula list. But actually the formula list is very useful and powerful. You may using the formula list for the explanation and also the definition. Okay, so for this example, this question, the definition for the Newton universal law of gravitation, you actually can using the formula. First formula to do the definition. Okay, so from this formula you can see the two mass of the object is actually directly proportional to the force and inversely proportional to the distance between them. Okay, so from this formula, so your definition can be given as this lah. So gravitational force, the F here is a gravitational force. This is directly proportional to the product or mass of the object and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So the distance will be from here to here lah. Okay, so this is the first mark regarding the definition. And then the next, the force of gravity between two objects can be calculated using the equation. So you can see the equation is actually given by this question, and the question is also quite straightforward. So what is the meaning of the G here? So G is actually also given in the formula list already. It will be at number 10. Okay, so we know the G is actually a gravitational constant in biaya is bermakna kegravitian lah. And then the R will be distance. Okay, so it will be a distance between two center. You must mention center of the first body and the center of the second body. Okay, so we measure the distance is from center to center, not the edge to the edge of the mass body. Okay, so this will be the thing you need to highlight, okay, for this formula here. Okay, and then the next will be in diagram 1, above mark and label are represented in the equation in 1b. Okay, so you have to label lah, where's the R. So as mentioned just now, the R must be draw from the center to center. Center of the object 1 to center of object 2. And then you have to label R. Okay, so then you will get 4 marks for the question 1. Okay, and then the next will be question 2. As mentioned just now, we will discuss the Selangor set 2, which is discuss all the Kepler law. So we can do the revision together. What is the Kepler law? So here the Kepler law consists of 3 laws here. So the first law, okay, so this is the first law you can actually get from your textbook. Okay, so the first law is all planets move in elliptical orbit with the sun at one focus. So the law is known as the law of orbits. So here the answer is very clear lah, will be second. Okay, so Kepler law, first law, the sun is on one of the loci of the planet's orbit. And then the second, so the Kepler second law state that a line of the connects a planet to the sun sweep out equal area in equal times. So that means here, law of area, you can see the blue color area for both part A, F, B, and C, F, D actually is the same. Okay, so here the answer will be the second one lah. So the planet move faster when closer to the sun. Okay, so will be law of the equal area. And then the last, the Kepler third law. So you can actually look at the formula. Okay, so the square of the period, or you can see the square of the orbital period of any planet is directly proportional to the cube of the radians of its orbits. Okay, so you can just go through the definition for these 3 laws. Okay, so the answer will be first lah. The Kepler third law compare the orbital period of two different planets. Okay, so this will be the answer for A. And then the next question here is the calculation regarding the relationship between the orbital period and the radians lah. Okay, orbital radians for the planet. So they will be actually Kepler third law here. Okay, so you can look at the statement here. Suppose a small planet is discovered 14 times further from the sun than the Earth. Okay, so if let's say we state the small planet is the object 1 and then the Earth is object 2. Okay, so the relationship here is actually the RP represented as the small planet and RE represented as the Earth here. So the RP is 14 times further from RE lah here. And then use the appropriate Kepler law to predict the orbital period of the planet in years. Okay, so the answer asks you to calculate what is the TP here. So the orbital period of the planet. And then the question given us, the Earth orbital period is actually 1 here. Okay, so the relationship between T and R, we're using the Kepler third law. As mentioned just now, we can use the formula list for our calculation. Okay, so we can use the formula 6 here. Okay, so our T1 will be TP. TP will be the small planet. And then the E represent as Earth lah. So we substitute this relationship where the RP equal to 14 RE. And then we substitute the TE equal to 1. Okay, will be like this lah. Okay, your TP will be substitute with 14 RP, which is the relationship stated at first sentence here already. Okay, and then the 1 will be TE here. Okay, and then we rearrange the formula. We get this lah. Okay, that means we will, also here is actually E. 14 RE. So 14 cube, we get this. And here is RE cube. And this will be 1 lah. So we cancel out RE. So we get 52.38 years. So make sure your answer in 2 decimal places and correct unit lah. Okay. Okay, so for the next question, here is question number 3. So this is a only example of subtopic 3.3, man-made satellite. Okay, I can try to find out and give you as a reference. Okay, this is a trial paper from Pasir Gudang. Okay, it's a question at section A, question number 4 here. So diagram 4.1 shows a geostationary satellite revolving around the Earth. Okay, so this is a geostationary satellite. So what is the orbital period of the satellite? Okay, so here, what is the key terms to give you the idea, okay, to get the orbital period of the satellite? Okay, so here this is the info we can get actually from our textbook. Okay, so this is a comparison between the geostationary satellite and the non-geostationary satellite. And here the question asks us regarding the geostationary satellite. So from here you can see the orbital period will be 24. Okay, so here the keyword here, you must understand what is a geostationary satellite. Only you are able to give the answer for orbital period. Okay, so here the answer will be 24 hours. Okay. Okay, and then the next will be explain the geostationary satellite, 3 marks. So if I say the question give you 3 marks, so that means you have to give 3 points here. Okay, so what is the point you can give regarding the geostationary satellite? Okay, so if I say you already memorize what you actually already learned in the textbook, you may answer this question. Okay, so the first, as mentioned just now, we already know that the orbital period will be 24 hours. So this will be our first statement here. Orbital period is 24 hours for the geostationary satellite. And then the second, you can look at our table. So we have the second statement above the same geographical location. Okay, OBM berada di atas tempat yang sama di muka bumi. So the answer you can just give, copy and paste, okay, what you memorize, then you have to know how to write the answer here. Okay, then the third here, you can also copy the answer from the textbook. Direction of the motion. Okay, direction of the motion, same as the direction of the Earth rotation. Okay, so the BM, arah gerakan sama dengan arah putaran bumi. So here you already have 3 points. So you can get 3 marks here. Or actually you can use another point here. So melupakan satellite komunikasi as a communication satellite. So this means that if the question already, example question can be at any parts, maybe at session C, session B. Okay, so if the question give you the satellite is actually the communication satellite, actually you have to know the communication satellite is actually classified as the geostationary satellite. Okay, and then the others example here can be given for the non-satellite will be, example here you can see pengimajan bumi, GPS and gaji cuaca, or in English we know as the Earth imaging, GPS and weather forecast. If the question given you, there is the GPS or weather forecast, then you have to know this is the non-geostationary satellite. Okay, so here simple like short. Teacher, will there be chance that yes? So the comparison between the geostationary and non-geostationary, actually this is an example question you can see in the PDF slide. Okay, you download, and at question number 10, you can see this answer. Okay, later on I show you how you get the answer here. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so the question is possible to ask a comparison between geostationary and non-geostationary satellite. Okay, so you have to memorize. So you memorize this figure, then you can answer any question regarding geostationary satellite and non-geostationary satellite. Okay. Okay, so we go to our next question. So assume that the mass of the Earth is m, the radius of the orbit is r, and the linear speed of the satellite is v. Show an expression of v in terms of g, m, r. So g here is the gravitational constant. Okay, we just now already learned that in question number 1, which is from the trial paper of Pulau Pinang. Okay, so here 2 marks. So you have to give the expression where the v in terms of g and r here. Okay, so again here you have to use the formula list. You can see every question actually you can apply whether definition, explanation, or calculation, okay, by using the formula list. Okay, so here we are using the first equation and the third equation. The first equation here is regarding the gravitational force, and the third question here will be centripetal force. Okay, okay, so from here there are 2 objects. Earth will be capital M, and the satellite will be M, which is the is actually imagination for this question. Okay, and then the distance between these 2 objects will be r. Okay, so from here you must know the gravitational force is actually equal to the centripetal force. Okay, for answering this question. Okay, so you can see from question 1 and number 3, so you'll get this, and you substitute the capital M as a mass of the Earth. Small m will be the mass for the satellite. Okay, then we cancel out the small letter m, and we cancel out r, so we get this. Rearrange, you get the relationship of v in terms of g, m, and r will be this. Okay, so the first mark will be for the equation and the end answer in terms of GMR. Okay. Okay, so the next is the calculation question here. Okay, as per mentioned just now, majority criteria tested will be understanding, knowledge, and calculation. Here will be 3 marks question regarding calculation for question at number 4 lah. Okay, so calculate the radius of the orbit of the geostationary satellite. Then the question given you, the mass of the Earth will be this value, and the gravitational constant with this value. But normally the gravitational constant value will be listed at the formula already lah. Okay, so firstly, actually you can change the terms to the symbol so that you are able to find the appropriate formula for your calculation. Okay, so here the radius represent as the symbol R, and then M, mass of the Earth, and this will be G. So, and here, actually the question is indirectly given you another information, which is a geostationary satellite. Okay, so that means you must understand the characteristic of the geostationary satellite. Okay, because there is an info indirectly you actually need to understand here. So here the period for the geostationary satellite, as mentioned just now, you must know there is a 24 hours already. Okay, so in most of the calculation, we also can change the unit to SI lah. Okay, so here the formula we're using will be 11. Okay, will be this. Okay. And then we can rearrange because the question asks us to find out the value of R. You can rearrange or you can substitute and rearrange later on also can. Okay. So we just substitute all the value. Okay. In this question, you must make sure that your period is in second. Okay. Because the other terms here is actually in SI unit. Okay. If I say you're using question, just now we're using the formula number 6. Okay. We not change our period to second because you can see both of the side we have period, so can be cancel out each other, like which is different with this formula. Or for safe, you can just change any value to SI unit lah. Okay, okay. So we substitute and then we just press our calculator. We will get your answer. Okay, this is the first method. Or second method, you can using another 2 equation, which is V equal to 2 pi R over T. This is a linear speed equation. Another one is also the linear speed equation. Okay, so you can equal for equation 5 and 7, and then rearrange, you can get same formula, or you can just substitute all the value, and you will also get the value of R here. Okay, which is also 4.22 times 10 power 7 meter. Okay. Okay, so the next question is question number 4. This is one of the question actually why I chose this question, because the question mostly cover the theory about the Kepler's second law. Okay, most of the question is actually touch and go for the Kepler's second law. Mostly they will ask regarding the Kepler third law. Okay, for this question, you can see what is the question can be asked regarding the theory second Kepler law here. Okay, so let us read the question together first. So diagram 4 shows a planet involves the sun. So this is a planet. Okay, so the time taken for the planet to travel from A to B is equal from C to D. Okay, so this is a rule you have to know for the Kepler's second law here. Okay, so state the shape of the orbit. So this one is very easy lah, will be elliptical. Okay, you just observe and just give the answer. Okay, and then for the B, based on the diagram 4, okay, based on the diagram 4, physics law stated that a line that connects the planet to the sun sweeps out equal area in equal times when the planet move in its orbit. Okay, this one just now we mentioned already lah. So the area here and here is the same. And then the time taken for moving from A to B and to C to D will be the same. So this is characteristic on the info you have to know for the Kepler second law lah. Okay, so state the physics law that explain the above statement. So very easy lah, will be Kepler second law. You let's say you already memorized. Okay, and then the third, the question asking about the theory. Okay, so based on the physics law in 4B1, so will be Kepler second law, explain how the situation of the linear speed of the planet at A to B and C to D. Okay, so you must including the linear speed lah. Okay, so as I mentioned just now, for the second law, okay, let's say you studied at the textbook already. Okay, you can see the important terms here is actually you can see if the planet take the same amount of time to move from A to B and from C to D, the area AFB is same as a CFD. This is the statement for the second Kepler second law. But you can see the distance for the AB is actually longer. And then the CD is shorter. So for moving A to B, which is longer distance, but taking the same time, so definitely the speed will be higher for AB compared to CD. So this is what you actually need to state in the question 2 here, where you get 3 marks here. So 3 marks, that means that you need to give at least 3 points. Okay, so the first, from the info you learn in the textbook, firstly is the time taken from A to B equal to from C to D. And the second, the area is the same. So area AFB equal to area CFD. And then here you can see the distance of AB is longer than CD here. So that means the speed of the speed from A to B will be faster compared to C to D here. Okay, so this is what you can write in your answer here. So the first mark given, area AFB equal to CFD, same amount of time from A to B and from C to D. Okay, so that means the linear speed of A to B will be greater than linear speed from C to D. So minimum you have to give 3 points. Okay, actually you can give all the 4 points you already learned. Okay, so this is the question, answer for the question. And then the next will be calculation again. You can see mostly the question asked regarding the Kepler law is actually the calculation which we apply the Kepler third law here. So again, this question asks about the relationship between the T and R here. So that means this will be another question regarding the Kepler third law here. Okay, so calculate the orbital period of the planet if the average distance from the center of the sun to the orbit is 1.5 times 10 power 11 meter. And the mass of the sun will be this 1.99 times 10 power 30, and G is given also here. So as per mentioned just now, firstly, you may change all the terms in the symbol so that you can find the appropriate formula. Okay, so again, we're referring to our formula list. So we can choose equation 11, okay, which the term going to us and the value of some of the term is given already. Okay, so you just rearrange, or you can straight away substitute and rearrange later on also, no problem. Okay, so you just substitute all the value given, and finally you get the answer here. Okay, so again, your answer must be in 2 decimal places and correct unit.
Okay. Cikgu, kita ada soalan daripada Suria. Selamat sejahtera cikgu, boleh kita tulis simbol ketaksamaan dalam jawapan ataupun kena tulis jawapan dalam bentuk ayat?
simbol kesamaan lah.
Simbol
Yang ni.
matematik tu. Simbol matematik.
Yang
Soalan yang sebelum ni kot.
Oh, yang tadi greater than. Okay,
Yes.
boleh yang ini. Okay, boleh. Simbol jenis ini boleh lah. Selain daripada simbol matematik.
kan? Boleh kan?
Simbol matematik boleh. Okay, kalau you tulis lebih besar macam ini, lebih kecil macam ini tak boleh lah. Okay, greater than, smaller than boleh. Yang lain tak boleh. Okay, boleh ya. Okay, so the next question will be this. So based on the formula used in 4C here, what is the relationship between orbital radiance and the orbital periods of the planet that circulate the sun? So from here you can see again, orbital radiance is R, and then the orbital period will be T. So what is the relationship? So that means you have to give the relationship by using the Kepler third law here, which is this lah. So that means you just change to statement here. Okay, so the cube of the orbital radius is directly proportional with the square of the orbital period of the planet here, or you can just give the symbol. Okay, just now Surya asking regarding the symbol. So here you can see we again apply the symbol direct proportional mathematics symbol here. Okay, you can see the answer is very long. You can just simplify by using the mathematics symbol here, and the unit must be, if the symbol represent the terms must be correct here lah. Okay, so here the answer reject. If let's say you not mention cube, you not mention square, okay, you just mention T direct proportional to R, so the answer will be wrong according to this marking scheme here. Okay, so that means you must very accurate to state the Kepler third law here lah. Okay, so I hope that I give you an idea, okay, which actually you quite confident for the Kepler third law, but this is a small mistake. Maybe sometimes some of the student is not see properly. Okay, so must be very careful to answer this kind of question, which is actually you quite confident already lah. Okay, so and then the next question here is question number 5. Okay, also from the Johor. Okay, it's missing. Okay, it's a question number 4. So I think the JSI for Johor will be question number 4 is from chapter 3 lah. Huh? Okay, so again, just like I mentioned, this question is actually the similar question from Trial Sarawak 2021. Okay, same question actually. Okay, so diagram 4.1 shows a conversation between Adam and Fatima with their fathers at the durian orchard. Okay, so you can see what is their conversation. So di sini, Dad, why do durian fall directly to ground? And then the daughter asks about, Dad, why does the moon revolve around the earth? Okay, so what is the correct answer should be given by their fathers. Tick at the correct answer here. So you can see the answer because there is a centripetal force adding between two bodies. Because there is a gravitational force adding between two bodies. So again, you can using formula to get your answer here. Okay, so you can see the first statement here regarding the centripetal force. The formula will be F equal to mv squared over R. And then the second one, gravitational force, you can see here Gm1, m2 over R squared here. From the conversation, you can see for the sun, the two body mass is involved, which is the durian and earth. And then the daughter is the mass about the moon and the earth. So that means there is the two masses is involved lah. So you can look at the formula. So the first question, which is the force, gravitational force involving two masses, and then the centripetal force only 1 m. So from here, you see, you can get your answer. Involve two masses, that means there will be gravitational force. Okay, very simple. 50-50, you know which one to choose, referring to your formula list. Okay, so today actually I just highlight how you use the formula to answer definition, explanation, calculation. Okay. Okay, and then the third, this is a calculation question. Calculate the acceleration due to the gravity for a durian from mass 1.5 kg that is falling to the ground. Ignore air resistance, and the question given you, the mass of the earth is 5.97 times 10 power 24. And then the distance between durian and the center of the earth is 6.37 times 10 power 6. Okay? So again, change the terms to the symbol. So the question asks you acceleration due to gravity, not A, but it's G. So if let's say you understand, you choose A, definitely you use another formula already. Okay, so here will be G, and then the M will be 1.5. Capital M will be the mass of the earth, will be this value lah. And here the R is equal to radiance of the earth. Okay, so we choose number 2. G equal to Gm over R squared. So from here you can see the small letter m is not involved. Okay, so you have to substitute your capital M with the value of 5.97 times 10 power 24. Okay, so this is what we can see. Most of the question they purposely give 2m. One is a small body mass. One is the earth. Okay, so some of the students will be choose the wrong mass already. Okay, so this one is also I highlighted and let you know. Okay, so make sure you not make the careless when you substitute the value here. Okay, so we're using Gn over R squared. So we just substitute all the value given. Okay, reduce your mistake, then you can get full marks for this question. So we get 9.81 meter per second square. Again, your answer must be have at least 2 decimal places with correct unit here. Okay. Okay, then the third question, hence calculate the force adding on the durian as it is falling. So here the force referring to gravitational force. Okay, but if you choosing the first equation here, the R is not given here actually, right? Okay, so the force of gravity here is actually equal to weight of the object lah. Okay, you just substitute mg, straightforward. You can get the answer already lah. Okay, 14.72 Newton here lah. Okay. Can so any question you can just ask through the chat room, okay, and try do together with me here. Okay, so if you can manage to understand all the question here, I think the question of chapter 3 and section A, B, and C, you must able to score already. Okay, so the next question here is regarding the centripetal force. Okay, so this question covering, I think, all the subtopic terms in 3.1. Okay, so diagram 4.2 shows an arrangement of the gates to determine a force. When a rubber stopper makes a circular motion, the 10 string exerts a force on the rubber cover. Okay, so draw the direction of the force in diagram 4.2. Okay, so here, so the question asks you to draw the direction of the force. Actually, this question is quite similar to the past question of 2021, which is ask you to draw the force. It's quite similar, just the way represent the question is different. Okay. Okay, so this is a centripetal force. You actually need to label. Okay, so here most of the students actually will draw arrow at the nylon thread actually. So we get this lah. Okay, so it's very simple. You get first mark and label. Okay, but some of the students, they think different way. They not draw the arrow at the thread. So if I say you not draw your arrow at the thread, so if I say your line not showing any arrow will be rejected. Okay, so you must show like this lah. Okay, so this is you must draw from here to the center here. Okay, let's say you draw where the line of an arrow is hanging at the center, which is not touching the circle here, so it will be wrong already lah. Okay, and then you draw straight line without arrow, so it will be also wrong. Okay, so make sure your arrow is pointed towards the center lah. Okay, this is what mistake maybe will be also made by some of the students lah. Okay, so the second, if the radius of circle given is 1, the rubber stopper with the mass is 0.2 kg, moving with linear speed, V equal to 4. Calculate the force exerted on the rubber stopper. Okay, so this is a value given. And then the force here, asking you regarding the centripetal force. So when calculation, for sure we're using formula list. So which formula have to choose? So with this lah. Okay, M given, V given, R given. So you just substitute only. Very easy this question. So you get the answer 3.2 Newton. Okay, here no need any 2 decimal places because this is exactly 3.2 value here lah. Okay, but you have to put the unit also lah together. Okay, and then the third question, what happens to the linear speed if the length of the thread is shortened? Okay, so what happened to the linear speed when the thread is shortened? So the thread shortened, that means that the R here will be reduced already lah. So the R here. So you must know the meanings of thread is shortened. So you can see R is short, R is reduced, and then this will be V. So again, this question is able to use the formula list to give you the answer. So you must choose this lah. V equal to 2 pi R over T. Okay, so from here you can see the V and R is actually directly proportional. So that means when the R reduce, the V will be reduced lah. So answer decreases. So very easy, one words. But you can actually using formula to answer. Okay, so I think you can actually understand the way how we using the formula list to do the explanation or others lah. Okay. Okay, so for the question number 6 is a question from State Kelantan, section A, question number 5. So question number 5, that means that this question will be regarding conception. 2 diagrams normally will be given, and you just need to observe the diagram and give the answer. Okay, so here, diagram 1.1 shows 2 satellites K and L. So here got 2 satellites K and L, equal mass orbiting the Earth. So the mass is equal at height of these 2 values from the center. Okay, the satellites are orbiting at a certain linear speed and in the same direction as the Earth rotation, but has different orbital period compared to the Earth. Okay. Name the type of the satellite K and L. Just now, we have answered one of the example. When the orbital period is the same with the Earth, there will be 24 hours. So here the question, the terms here, different orbital period compared to the Earth. So that means here will be not 24 hours. Here, when not 24 hours, there will be non-geostationary satellite. Okay, so I hope that you can relate these 2 questions regarding geostationary satellite and non-geostationary satellite. So this is a terms keyword you need to know how to differentiate between these 2 types of the satellite. Okay. Okay, and then the second, observe the diagram 5.1, compare the satellite K and L in terms of distance. This one is very easy. You just compare the distance, you can see satellite K definitely will be greater. So you just give K greater than L lah. Okay, And then the second question asks regarding the magnitude of the gravitational force. Okay, so how we can see which will be corrected? Again, we can using formula list. Okay, so the gravitational force, you may choose first formula. Okay, so from here, you can see the relationship between R and the F is inversely proportional. So for the case of satellite K, when the distance increases, the force will be decreases. So here, that means that the K will be smaller than L for the gravitational force. Okay, and then the second for the linear speed, how we can see the linear speed? We cannot see, but we can using formula. So the linear speed we're using this formula. Okay, so you can see the relationship will be inversely proportional. So that means when the R increases for K, so the V will be decreases. Okay, so K less than L. So very simple, using formula to do the B2 and 3 here. Okay, and then the C, based on your answer in 5B, state the relationship between the magnitude of the gravitational force and distance. Okay, so just now you just need to choose one of the satellite here. You can choose K or you can choose L. Okay, so here, this is the answer from B . So when distance increases, then the force decreases. So this is a distance, this is a force. Okay, so that means one increase, one will be decreased . So magnitude of gravitational force adding on the satellite decreases. Okay, the distance from the center increases. Okay, then the second will be force with the linear speed. Okay, so you can see if you look at K only now, so both is directly proportional. Okay, so magnitude of the gravitational force adding on satellite decreases. The linear speed of the satellite decreases. Okay, so this is answer.
Cikgu Peh, kita ada soalan di sana. Oh, but soalan tadi is also said it rotates in the same direction in the Earth's rotation. Is it still non-geo?
Sorry?
Soalan daripada Aira Suhira.
Okay, soalan tadi, it also said it rotate in the same direction. Okay, so the non-stationary satellite actually can rotate in the same direction. Okay, but that means can be slower, can be faster. Okay, so the non-stationary satellite not means that the direction is different. So the most important thing is always for the geostationary satellite, always stay at the same position. That means the direction is the same and the period is the same. Okay, so for non-geostationary satellite can be reverse, can be same direction. Okay, if let's say the orbital period is faster than 24 hours, so that means will be rotate faster than Earth . Okay, just the direction is same, but the speed is different. Okay, so I hope that I answered the question. Okay, so the next. Okay, so what will happen to the motion of the both satellite if there is no gravitational force adding on the satellite? Okay, so no any gravitational force, actually you can look at the example here. So when we have the gravitational force, so that means we have the centripetal force. So the object will be continue moving in circular motion. Okay, so when there is no any gravitational force, so that means there is no any centripetal force already. So you can actually imagine it will be like this figure . So the rope is actually released or cut from the track already lah. So you can see here will be moved away from the Earth in the straight line lah. Okay, so this is D. And then for E, orbital period of the satellite K is 41.33 hours. Calculate the orbital period of satellite L. So again, here you can see is T, and here is T for K lah. Okay, so from question, actually the R is given already. So again, here will be the distance given already lah. So here will be R1 for satellite K to center of Earth, and then for the K will be R2. And then here the question given us T2 lah, because I use 2 as the satellite K. So we need to find out what is the value for T1. So again, we apply Kepler third law. You can see all the question is actually related to Kepler third law. Okay, so we're using formula 6, substitute all the value. Very easy. Then you get the answer. Again, make sure 2 decimal places and the correct unit here. Okay. Okay, so I think moderator, we can have a break. Cikgu Yani.
Cikgu Yani tak buka mic.
Okey, nampaknya kita akan berhenti seketika dan bagi laluan kepada iklan. Dan jumpa lagi sekejap lagi.
Tuisyen online percuma. Tuisyen online percuma. Layari www.Akademi Youtuber bagi mengikuti tuisyen online secara percuma. Prasekolah, sekolah rendah, sekolah menengah, semua ada di Akademi Youtuber. Rujuk jadual di laman sesawang www.akademiyoutuber.com. Semoga masa terluang anak-anak anda diisi dengan sebaiknya. Tuisyen online percuma mestilah Akademi Youtuber.
Okey, kita persilakan semula Cikgu Peh.
Okay, so thank you, Cikgu Yani. Okay, so now we still have 3 questions. 1 question section A and 2 question B and C. Okay, so I think we go faster a bit. Okay, so diagram 7. This is question number 7. Is an example question from trial KYS. Question number 7 is regarding decision making. Okay, so diagram 7 shows an athlete spinning a hammer in a hammer throw sport event. Okay, the centripetal force acting on the hammer when rotated is the tension of the string. So what is centripetal force? So this is a memorized question now. So the centripetal force is a force that acts to an object in a circular motion. Okay, so this is memorized question. Okay, and then B, on diagram 7, mark the direction of the centripetal force acting on the hammer. So this is quite similar to the question just now, which is label the direction for the centripetal force also, right? Okay, so will be this lah. Okay, very straightforward. Make sure the arrow is pointed to center lah. Okay, and then C, calculate the centripetal force added on the hammer. So change the terms to symbol as I mentioned, but you guys say you very clear already, no need lah. Okay, and then this will be R, and then this will be V. So choose the suitable equation, then substitute, you get your answer. Very straightforward, easy. First step, change to symbol, then find appropriate formula, substitute, get 2 marks, very easy. Okay, so answer must be 2 decimal places with correct unit here. Then the next will be, okay, so this is a decision making question, so that means you need to choose which hammer throw will be the best. Okay, so must choose 1, cannot choose 2, 3 or more. Okay, so table 7 show the characteristic of the hammer ABC. Throw involved in the hammer throw sport events here, okay? So based on the specification in table 7, set the suitable characteristic of the hammer throw that has the highest rope tension when it's rotated. Okay, this question I just realized that there is no any BM, okay? Okay, so give reason for the suitability for the characteristic. So length of the string, give the reason. So length will be here lah. 1.85, 1.55, 1.515. So please do not give value. You want to give longer or shorter. Okay. So here highest rope tension, that means the force higher lah. Okay. So the length of the string will be R. You can look at the figure, will be R. Okay, so again, you can using formula to relate your answer here. So from here, when R reduce, F will be increased. So the answer here, you have to choose shorter. Please give shorter, not value one. Okay, and then reason. So you can see here already mentioned when R decreases, F will be increased. So we need to have the high centripetal force here. Okay, the next, linear speed of the hammer when it is rotated. So be here, 24, 20, or 29. So you have to choose higher linear speed or lower. Okay. So the linear speed will be here now. So formula, same formula here. You can see when V increases, F will be increases. So the question requires us to get highest rope tension. So that means the higher centripetal force actually we need to produce so that the hammer can be thrown to further distance. Okay. So higher reason, higher centripetal force. Okay. So here actually you can use other formula to get another explanation. So which is momentum. So when the speed increases, so the momentum will be increases. So higher momentum is also accepted for this question. Okay. Okay, so based on the answer 7D, which hammer throw has the highest drop tension when it is rotated? So very clear will be C. Please choose only one. Okay, so this is a example for the decision making question at section A. Okay, and then this is a example question for section B, question number 9. So that means this one will be also decision making question, 10 marks question. Okay, and this is only one question regarding man-made satellite among the trials and module for this year. Okay, so this is an idea I can give you, okay, to answer the question regarding topic 3.3. Okay, diagram 9.1 shows a rocket that is moving through a layer of Earth atmospheres. So what is the meanings of the escape velocity? Okay, so this one you have to memorize. What is the escape velocity? The minimum velocity required by an object on the Earth's surface to overcome the force of gravity and escape into space. This one you have to memorize. No choice. Okay. Second, what are the factors affecting the escape velocity? Okay, so this one you can use the formula list again to explain. So here you can see for this formula, escape velocity formula, V equal to 2gm over R. Okay, so here 2 marks. G is actually fixed value. Okay, so that means left M and R here already. So you just mention M and R. So what is M? There will be mass of the Earth. And then another one will be distance of the center of the Earth. But here actually the mass of the Earth is also actually is a fixed. But you can look at the mark given is 2 marks. Okay, normally physics will be 1.1 mark. Never we have 1.2 marks. So here the answer for the scheme given 2. Okay, so will be mass of the Earth. You can look at the formula number 9 here. besides a G, we just left M, capital M and R. So this will be the answer accepted for this question, okay, for the triangle here. Okay, and then the second question, explain why the Earth can retain its atmospheric layer. Okay, why the air is stay on the Earth, not escape from the Earth. So for sure, the air molecule have the speed moving, which is less than the escape velocity, right? Okay, so here, the first one, high escape velocity from Earth. So for object need to escape from the Earth, need at least 11,200 meters per second only can escape. So that means the air molecule in the Earth will have a speed which is less than the escape velocity of Earth. Okay, the second, here will be the molecule in the atmosphere move with an average linear speed, which is only 500, which is much slower than escape velocity of Earth. So that means the first point given is escape velocity of Earth is higher. Second, the molecule atmosphere moving with the linear speed, which is lower than escape velocity. Okay, so this is 2 points you can write. If let's say you can't remember exactly the value for the escape velocity of Earth and the moving linear speed of the air. So this is 2 points, at least you need to keep Okay, no choice, right? So first will be Earth have a high escape velocity for the object to release from surface of Earth. Second, if the air molecule, the linear speed is lower than escape velocity needed. Okay, so these are 2 points. Okay, and then here, the B, diagram 9.2 shows a communication satellite. Table 9 shows the characteristic of 4 telecommunication satellites. So here we have 4 satellites. You are assigned to study the characteristic of the satellite that is suitable for communication. So again, you can see communication. So what is the type of the satellite here? Definitely geostationary satellite. Okay, so this is the idea we go through from question section A already. So you must know communication satellite referring to geostationary satellite. Definitely question will ask you others, like say Lembaga want to change the question, right? Okay, so choose the most suitable satellite and give the reason for your choice. So again, advice in table. So the first asks you regarding the size of the antenna. So here got 2, big and small. Definitely we need big so that wave can be received or reflected more easier. Okay, so will be large. So more wave can be reflected. So this is a reason. And then the second, satellite, type of satellite. So just now I mentioned already, the keyword here is communication. So this will be geostationary satellite. Okay. So here just now I give you the notes discussion regarding difference between non-geostationary satellite and geostationary satellite. So the example, Earth imaging, GPS and weather forecast will be example of the satellite which is under the type of non-geostationary satellite. Okay, so here the answer is very clear. It will be geostationary. The English wrong already, geostationary. Okay, so the reason just now we learned already, there is many different characters actually you can give here. Always move, always above the same geographical location. Same direction of the Earth rotation also can. Okay. Okay, so the next will be numbers of solar. So the solar will be here. So that means we must need more because the solar will be changed the solar energy to electrical energy, which is related to the topic actually we discussed last week, quantum physics, right? Okay, so you see both is related. If I say I got time, I can combine both chapters to come up with a question, okay, regarding these two chapters. Okay, so more. Reason can collect more light energy so that can produce more electric. Okay, the next will be mass. So here you can see again given you a value. So mostly will be higher or lower. Okay, there is vary is in value lah. Some lah you can look at. Actually we have discussed before regarding the chapter of electric, which is regarding the fuse rating, right? So this one you have to calculate, but mostly will be higher and lower. Okay, so here definitely we choose lower. So lower here, no choice. You can see, although the 2000 is the lowest, but here the others character is not suitable for satellite K. So the answer very clear will be J already lah. Okay, low reason consume less fuel during launching. Okay, so we choose J. Then you copy again these 4 characters. So you get mark number 10. Okay, very easy. Okay, and then the next will be calculation. So for question number, section B will be modification together with calculation. Okay, so here a satellite with mass 600 kg orbiting the Earth at the height of 300 km from the Earth. Calculate the speed of the satellite orbiting the Earth. Okay, so choose appropriate formula. So here will be choose these two questions, these two formula lah. 7 and 10. 10 is a constant value for G lah. Okay, so here the R will be here. Capital R represent the radiance of the Earth lah. And then you can see the satellite is actually 300 km away. Will be H. So for the formula 7, the small letter R will be R plus H lah. So the R is actually will be given. So with this value. And then make sure your H change the km to meter. Okay, because the radiance of the Earth given is in meter lah. Then the mass of the Earth is given as this value. Okay, so you can see from this formula, we not use any small letter m. So this is a symbol for small letter m lah. So we just, first mark, you need to calculate the small letter r. So with this, first mark. And then substitute, second mark. Value, answer in 2 decimal places and correct unit, third mark. Okay, then the next period of satellite orbiting the Earth. So which formula you have to choose? So with this, number 5. Okay, so from here, you just substitute all the value you get. R, you get with this value already. And then V, you get this value already. You just substitute. Okay, and then you get the answer, 5.42. Or you can using formula 11. Then substitute all the value, you get the same answer. Okay. Okay, so next will be question number 9. Okay, so this will be the last question for today's discussion. Okay, so here diagram 9.1 shows 2 rocket P and Q having different weight while moving in the atmospheres of Earth. So what is the meaning of weight? So you have to memorize lah. Gravitational force adding on an object will be the answer. So this is actually chapter 2, section 2.8. Okay, and then here 5 marks question for conception comparison. So as per mentioned just now, so the section C will be have the comparison, conception, and together with the modification question. Okay, so the 5 marks question here, based on the diagram 9, contrast the height, force of the gravity, gravitational potential energy between rocket P and Q. So here already 3 marks. 1, 2, 3. So you have to get 5 marks. And then relate the height and gravity to make the deduction regarding relationship between height and gravitational potential energy. So here will be 5 marks. You can bracket where you need to give the answer. Okay, so the first height very clear now. You can see Q is higher than P. But here you have to mention height. You cannot just put P less than Q. Okay. Okay, so because the marker to know which P less than Q referring to. So height of P less than Q, you can using symbol as per mentioned just now. Okay, and then the second, force of gravity. So which we cannot see. So we can using formula to give the relationship here. Okay, so that means that the gravity will be G lah. Okay, so when R decreases, G decreases lah. Increases. So force of the gravity P greater than Q lah. Okay, and then gravitational potential energy. So we're using formula 8. So when R decreases for rocket P lah, so you can see the U will be increases. So we see the magnitude, not see the direction. So here will be increases. So the gravitational force, gravitational potential energy for rocket P greater than Q. So height and gravity, height increases for Q lah, so the gravity will be decreases lah, if using the formula number 2 here. And then the 5th mark here, height together with the gravitational potential energy. So when height increases for Q, the gravitational potential energy will be decreases lah. So you can using this formula. When this increase, this will be decreased. Okay. And then the next question is explain the back effect of the low gravity towards human body growth. Okay, this one is sometimes students think that maybe this one is not important because we also cannot see many questions asking regarding the back effect for low gravity or what or high gravity. Okay, so this is just highlighted to you Okay, maybe you ask like this So the back effect, firstly, body weight decreases when G decreases. So that means F equal to mg, right? So G decreases, the weight of body will be decreases. Okay, so when the body or weight decreases, the bond density will be decreases just like wheel. Okay, previously it's there in the land, so need have the bigger structure. When go to the sea already, so the buoyant force supporting the body of the wheel, so the bond becomes smaller and smaller, right? Okay, so this is also will be occur when gravity is getting lesser on the earth. So this is an effect we can see. Okay, so the bond becomes fragile and easily broken. So that means when you can see the wheel cannot moving when it reach the land because of the bond is too small and unable to supporting its body weight. Okay, so that means this is a bad effect And then the amount of the blood pump out of the heart will be decreases. Then the next will be, you can mention blood circulation is slower because the blood pressure is lower already. So this is a reference answer for this question. Okay, and then, okay, again, this question is a 10 marks question. I also using formula to solve the question here. Okay, so let us read the question together first. Okay, quite small. Okay, so diagram 9.2 shows the moon is orbiting the Earth. Okay, so you are a scientist who is required to brief a group of the official from the National Science Center. So this briefing is about the transportation into space to orbits around the moon and return to the Earth safely. So that means maybe this is in future. So the traveling, not only you go overseas, so we go to moon, we go to Jupiter, we go to other space already. Okay, so using the knowledge of the gravitational force, orbital velocity, Kepler law, describe possible modification that can be done to spacecraft mass. Okay, so first ask you modification for the mass. Launching velocity from the surface of the Earth, and then the orbital altitude around the moon, fuel saving method of returning Earth safely. Okay, this is the 5 character you have to discuss, 5 aspects you have to discuss, and give the reason. Okay, so first, mass of the spacecraft. So here you can look at here when the mass decreases, so the force will be decreases. So we can reduce the gravitational force of the Earth on the spacecraft. Then because the gravitational force will pushing the aircraft towards the center, right? So that means it's more difficult to move or escape from the surface of the Earth. So we need to have a small mass, okay? And the next, launching velocity. So just now we mentioned already, we must higher than escape velocity. So we need to have a high launching velocity, which is higher than escape velocity. Okay, so that the spacecraft can escape from the surface of Earth. Just now we mentioned already, escape velocity. And then the next will be altitude of the orbit around the moon. So that means when for Earth, you reach the moon already. So where you need to stay, higher or lower. Okay, so according to this, G and the R relationship is inversely proportional. So that means we need to have higher position so that the effect of the G from the moon will be lower, so that you can back to Earth easier, right? Okay, so that means the altitude, okay, low G from moon, so that we need to have a high position from the moon surface, okay? So low gravitational force at high altitude make it easy. You can just mention now, make it easy for spacecraft to return to the Earth. Okay, then the next will be method for saving the fuel. So here, the scheme given now, turn off the spacecraft engine while orbiting the moon to save fuels. I think this is because the Earth is, because the spacecraft is actually supporting by the centripetal force. Okay, so the spacecraft can orbit the moon without the help of the engine because of the gravitational force of the moon. So the gravitational force of the moon definitely related to the centripetal force, which is make the aircraft rotating to the moon. Okay, then the last will be the method of returning to the Earth safely. So here, move the spacecraft into the Earth's strong gravitational field zone and return, and then turn off the engine. So if you compare the shape of the Earth, the pole is actually has a shorter arm compared to the equator. So that means maybe the pole is a better place for the aircraft to return. Okay, so I think this is involving many theory. This is just what we learning at SPM level. So the spacecraft flew to Earth with the influence of the Earth gravitational force without the help of the engine. So that means if the spacecraft stop at the pole and the equator, so that means the pole is a better choice compared to equator because the G is stronger compared to equator. Okay, so this is just a reference for question section C. Okay, and then here you can see question number 10 is actually also CLON sample question. Okay, and actually I discussed already. You can just go to my previous video, okay, regarding this question. The answer is already explained. And then the question 11 is actually Johor Bahru set question. And at section A is actually question regarding decision making. And this question is actually exactly same with the question I already discussed last year. Okay, you can go to my video and get the answer because I'm not able to discuss so many questions here. Okay, so this is what I can discuss with you all before the exam. Okay, good luck for all. Thank you.
Ya, terima kasih kepada Cikgu Peh, Kok Hua atas perkongsian yang sangat padat dengan info yang menarik tadi. Tahniah juga diucapkan kepada semua yang setia bersama kelas kita pada kali ini dari awal hingga ke saat ini. Sekarang kita dah ada link ke? Dah.
Okey, link dah ada. Adalah.
Okay, link sijil sudah pun diletakkan di bahagian chat. Sila ambil perhatian, link tersebut akan tamat setengah jam selepas live. Anda boleh gunakan email e-didik semasa mengisi borang sijil. Okey, kelas seterusnya untuk subjek fizik adalah pada hari dan waktu yang sama pada minggu hadapan. Tolong sampaikan kepada rakan-rakan kamu ya. Sila layari www.akademiyoutuber.com untuk mendapatkan info terkini dan jadual kelas tuisyen percuma ini. Jom kongsikan portal Ayu ini kepada rakan-rakan dan guru-guru seluruh Malaysia. Juga diingatkan semua kelas online percuma ini boleh ditonton semula melalui link yang disediakan di portal Ayu. Semoga kita mendapat manfaat daripada kelas-kelas yang dijalankan. Ingat hashtag bermula percuma, selamanya percuma. InsyaAllah. Okey, yang baik datangnya dari Allah dan sebarang kekurangan datang daripada kelemahan kami sendiri. Okey, ada pengulangan tak Cik Kak Hasnitah? Daripada Kak Hasnitah, ada sepatah dua kata?
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Yani. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum dan selamat petang kepada semua. Terima kasih Mr Peh, satu perkongsian yang sangat baik saya rasa, dan kita ada suatu cadangan daripada Suria di sana. Selamat sejahtera Cikgu. Kalau Cikgu boleh buat teknik menjawab untuk setiap bab boleh. On my opinion it's very very helpful. Itulah kalau boleh, memang hasrat kita nak buat setiap bab, cuma itulah kita agak kesuntukan masa. Tapi mana tahu mungkin Mr Peh rajin pula nak buat video untuk setiap bab lepas ni Jadi anda bolehlah terus setia di channel Mr Peh. Ada semua channel guru-guru di Akademi Youtuber, Cikgu Yani, Cikgu Kok.
Boleh ditonton semula.
Cikgu Hasnitah. Dan kita ada juga Cikgu Rina, Cikgu Rosemawati, Cikgu Linda Nordin, Cikgu Nur Hafizan dan Cikgu Izyan serta Cikgu Faizahz. So anda pergilah ke channel cikgu-cikgu ini. Ada banyak sebenarnya. Bukan saja ulang kaji ni, malahan sepanjang tahun lepas kita dah cover semua topik sebenarnya secara seperti apa yang ada dalam DSKP. Jadi anda boleh tonton semula mana-mana bab yang anda rasa anda agak lemah. Tonton saja semula video-video kelas berkenaan. Diharapnya itu pun dapat membantu anda. Okay? Jadi sebab kita akan duduki peperiksaan pada 1 Mac pada hari Rabu minggu hadapan. Jadi harapan kami, yang pertama, anda kenalah jaga kesihatan. Ini paling penting. Okay, bila anda sihat, anda boleh menjawab dengan keadaan yang terbaik pada hari peperiksaan. Okay, rehat biar cukup, makan biar cukup, tidur biar cukup, kerana minggu depan ada 2 paper yang penting lah untuk kelas sains, iaitu matematik pada hari Selasa dan juga fizik pada hari Rabu. Okay, jadi kita doakan semoga anda semua kurniakanlah kejayaan yang cemerlang, insya-Allah. Yang penting jangan putus asa dan jangan buang masa. Gunakan sepenuhnya masa yang masih ada berbaki ini sehingga 1 Mac nanti. Gunakanlah sebaik-baiknya dan sentiasalah juga bertanya kepada guru-guru anda di sekolah, dapatkan tips-tips di akhir ni kan, mungkin teknik mengingat dan sebagainya. Saya percaya ramai cikgu-cikgu yang berpengalaman di luar sana yang telah kongsikan banyak tips mengingat dan sebagainya. Jadi all the best to all, semoga berjaya semua.
Okey, daripada Cikgu Peh, ada sikit sepatah dua kata.
Okey, so terima kasih kepada para pelajar yang hari ini bersama saya lah. Okay, sebenarnya saya dengan Cikgu Hasnitah sudah sepanjang Sunday kita adakan live lah. So kamu boleh kekalkan bersama kita. Okay, kenalkan kita punya live kepada para pelajar. Dan Suya request tadi menjawab kepada setiap bab kan. Sebenarnya anda boleh pergi ke channel saya. Sebab last year Melaka kita ada buat kasih gagal punya series di mana kita cover semua bab. Setiap kali teknik menjawab kita adakan 1 chapter Suya. Okay, then 2 chapter yang tidak dibuat oleh Melaka, iaitu quantum physics dengan gravitational. Sebenarnya saya sudah cover pada tahun ini. So kamu boleh pergilah channel saya di mana kasih kegau program Melaka ini melibatkan penceramah sebenarnya sangat-sangat baik. Saya hanya salah satu sahaja penceramah daripada 10 siri tersebut. So add on 2 siri ini, anda sebenarnya kamu sudah dapat semua bab punya teknik menjawab. Okay, so kamu bolehlah pergi channel saya lihat. Okay, so walaupun yang ada yang video itu bukan melalui channel saya, tapi saya semua sudah masuk ke dalam saya punya channel under title Kasih Gegau 2021. Okay.
Ada playlist pada channel itu pay tu, yes, you can check on the playlist.
Ya, so semuanya semua sudah ada. So cikgu-cikgu berkenaan mereka menggunakan past year paper dan mereka kebanyakan adalah marker lah. So mereka menggunakan cara tersebut untuk bincangkan. Kamu boleh pergi lihat apa yang mereka tekankan dalam teknik menjawab SPM ini. Okay, so thank you kepada semua yang sokong kepada saya dan juga sokong kepada Ayu. Thank you.
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Peh. Okey, bagaimana kita nak dapatkan link-link tersebut? Layarilah www.akademi.com. Okay, ingat jangan lupa untuk tontonan semula kita boleh dapatkan, klik saja Fizik di sana. Kamu akan dapat banyak playlist di sana dan kita akan lihat Cikgu Peh ada, semua guru Fizik ada. Okey, kalau cikgu sependek tu katanya, cikgu good luck lah. Selamat berjaya pada paper Fizik pada minggu hadapan. Okey, sekian. Terima kasih. Jumpa lagi minggu hadapan. Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye.
Tuisyen online percuma. Tuisyen online percuma. Layari www.Akademi Youtuber bagi mengikuti tuisyen online secara percuma. Prasekolah, sekolah rendah, sekolah menengah, semua ada di Akademi Youtuber. Rujuk jadual di laman sesawang www.akademiyoutuber.com. Semoga masa terluang anak-anak anda diisi dengan sebaiknya. Tuisyen online percuma mestilah Akademi Youtuber.
Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi Youtuber.